Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, C. Raj Chawla, Vice Chairman, MSME and Startup Committee of ICAI. I welcome you all. And today we have very senior learned CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji as a faculty. And today we are going to discuss what are the schemes given by Government of India or MSME Ministry to the registered MSME. So we will detail and discuss. We also have with us CA Manoj Lamba ji. He is also expert in MSME schemes. So he will coordinate, and also we have very senior chartered accountant CA SP Gupta ji for the coordination, and we have with us CA Shanu Goyal ji, secretary of our MSME and Startup Committee. So friends, we are today discussing what are the schemes given by Government of India and MSME Ministry to the registered MSME people. So as we know that on 31st of March 23, Government of India came with a notification that any MSME who is registered can get loan up to 5 crore without any collateral security. Earlier, this limit was 2 crore. Now it is 5 crore. And government has many other schemes also for the MSMEs. So we are going to discuss in detail with the CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji. Also, friends, in these days, there is a hot discussion on Section 43BH. Last week, we have discussed what are the remedies available, and our CA Manoj Lamba ji has described all the difficulties faced by assessees regarding that. So, friends, I welcome you once again, and now I request CA Manoj Lamba ji to please say about our CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji, profile of CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I convey my sincere thanks to MSME Committee of ICAI and especially CA Dr. Raj Chawla ji for giving me an opportunity, rather a privilege, to introduce CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta ji. However, Gupta ji needs no introduction. He is a MSME man and his channel is very, very popular, MSME Helpline. CA Mukesh Mohan Gupta is a chartered accountant by profession, having more than 30 years experience in banking, finance, MSME, NBFC, accounting, etc. He has served on board of Dena Bank as an independent director and also on the board of various companies. He is also a member of National Board of MSME, Ministry of MSME, Government of India. He has been invited by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, at his official residence to discuss the current economic situation and way forward, especially for the MSME. तो आप समझ सकते हैं, अगर हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी इनवाइट कर रहे हैं तो MSME में गुप्ता जी का कितना बड़ा योगदान है. He also operates a YouTube channel to educate the public by the name MSME Helpline, where he has posted more than 600 videos and has a subscriber base of around 9.96 lakhs and a viewership of more than 400 crore views. So such a popular personality, such a great personality with us today. So our viewers definitely will enlighten with his views. Over to you, Gupta ji, for further deliberation.
Thank you very much for such nice introduction. Raji, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and inducting me in the MSME and Startup Committee of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And I will say that though I always used to say that I discuss day and night about MSME, but the things and the actions Dr. Raj Chawla ji has shown under this MSME and Startup Committee of the Institute is absolutely marvelous and great. He had been, for many days continuously out of his office and out of his residence and gone to each and every branch of the institute wherever this MSME Yatra was there last year. So again, this responsibility of taking this MSME and Startup Committee to the new height is again on the shoulders of the chairman and co-chairman of MSME and Startup Committee. I really congratulate you, sir, for these type of activities. So MSME, may I present, sir, my screen?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You have disabled participants screen sharing. So you need to give me the permission, sir.
Ma'am, please allow sir to for share screen sharing.
So I feel that this is so important for the chartered accountants, particularly those who are into practice, or for those also who are into uh, some organization. Because as Raj Chawla ji was just referring to, this section 43BH has been introduced. And Raji, I would like to just inform you that this section was introduced perhaps on various demand from the Ministry of, from the MSMEs basically, because the MSMEs are definitely struggling with this problem of delayed payment to them. But now I am having the mixed reaction from MSMEs as well as from the large corporates also. Today also one company was, promoters were sitting were there, and then they were referring to the problems they may face in fact with this new section 43BH. But friends, this MSME sector is such an important sector, particularly for the GDP of the country, for the development of any country. If we'll be a developed country, definitely the MSMEs will play a very important role in a developed India. This is also very important for the chartered accountants, because I feel that most of the CA firms will definitely be serving the MSMEs. And if they are aware about the schemes for MSMEs and startups, they will definitely be able to advise their clients in a better way. Today, I'll try to discuss the major schemes for the financing to the MSMEs of various stakeholders, maybe by Ministry of MSMEs, RBI, some banks, so on and so forth. So we'll discuss the schemes of for financial assistance for MSMEs and startups, which are available to these MSMEs, so that we, the chartered accountants, can advise their clients. And 96% businesses are run by MSMEs. So most of the chartered accountant friends will definitely be providing support to these MSMEs. So we all know that 45% of the nation's manufacturing output is through these MSMEs. 40% of the country's export also comes from these micro, small, and medium enterprises. They are the largest job creator after agriculture in the country. And as per the data available with the Ministry of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises, as per their annual report, there are more than 6.5 crore MSMEs, and that data was only for the manufacturing and service sector. Lately, the trading sector is also being eligible to be registered as Udyam, as which is the only registration for micro and small enterprises. So maybe if we say that about 5-6 crore traders are there, so the number is very big. So about 12 crore MSMEs will definitely be there in the country. And only the manufacturing and service sector were employing about 12 crore employees. So if we discuss about the unemployment, I suppose the government jobs are not enough to take care of the unemployment. These MSMEs are the only growth engine to provide employment. Total contribution of the MSMEs in the GDP is almost 1/3. And the target is to achieve 40% by 2025. But still, it is such an important sector, but still they have a lot of challenges. The most talked about challenge is absence of timely and adequate finance at affordable rates to these MSMEs. Even if they got the finance, they got at a high rate of interest because most of them are not rated. The CMR rating, which is to be obtained for getting finance from any bank financial institution, most of the time they are not able to get a good rating of their company. They are not aware of various rules, regulations, guidelines of the banking channel, the ratios they have to maintain, because most of the time what we find that their balance sheet is only and only for the purpose of income tax. Whenever you discuss with any MSME about while finalizing the balance sheet, the only question they raise that what is the income tax I need to pay, how to reduce the income tax. I suppose that is the suicidal act for any MSME. Uh, on a lighter mode, whenever I discuss with any MSME and advise them that you should show your true picture, the correct profitability and pay higher tax, वो पूछते हैं कि सर इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट इज गिविंग सम commission to you also. So I usually say, yes, I got 50% because your growth is our growth, your growth is country's growth. So because of non-bankable balance sheet of most of the MSMEs, they got funds at higher rate of interest. Delayed payment is again one of the biggest problem being faced by these MSMEs. And if this problem is solved, maybe by virtue of this Section 43BH of the Income Tax Act or under MSCFCs in provision of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Development Act, which I suppose you all will be aware of. They may not be running around to the bankers all the time. So most of the MSMEs are struggling for the funds because they are not getting their payment on time from large corporate, the government, PSUs, or even from other MSMEs. They have limited capital and knowledge. Here, I would like to advise you, friends, with my little knowledge that I have seen in most of the balance sheet, that whenever there is a company, I see a heading unsecured loans from friends, family, relatives. So I usually get surprised. Who are these friends? In fact, a कौन family member हैं who are giving unsecured loans to the company, that too in most of the cases without any interest and so on and so forth. I'm not able to find any such friend, family, relatives. So who are these? I don't know. My advice will be to all my colleague friends who definitely are much more intelligent than me, that we should advise to these MSMEs that please, whenever you invest any fund in your business, invest in the form of equity. Because when you go to the banks and there is any unsecured loans from friends, family, relatives, bankers always treat it as a loan. So loan is loan, whether it's a secured loan, unsecured loan, from banking channel, from friends, relatives, loan is loan. And bankers always think that the intention is that whenever there will be any problem, you will take back your loan and the company will be in trouble. So this is one advice I would like to give to my CA friends. Whenever you advise any MSME, please advise them that whatever money they invest in their business should be in the equity form. Though this is a challenge for the MSMEs, no access to capital market. But friends, you will be aware that now there are two SME exchanges, both on BSE and NSE. They are working great. More than 450 units have already been listed alone on BSE SME exchange. And the valuation of these companies is really great. And nowadays, I was discussing with the MD of BSE SME exchange, and he was referring that nowadays, Mukesh bhai, it is very difficult to get the share of any SME company. Yeah, because many times they are subscribed. So for this also, I suppose the SMEs have to be very much compliant. Their balance sheet strength is very important. So I would like to submit here one another important thing that most of the time whenever you discuss with MSME, they say sir कि bank loan नहीं देता हमें. I feel it's a reverse situation. Whenever we meet with the bankers, they say कि साहब अच्छी MSME नहीं मिलती, we want to fund, because what is the business of a bank? Bank takes deposit from the public and they lend it to others. This is the business of the bank. If they will take only deposit, and they will not be able to lend, in fact, तो उनका तो धंधा बंद हो जाएगा. Yeah, so all the banks have to be closed if they will not lend, in fact. And lending only to large corporates is also not a profitable venture. I had been on the board of a public sector bank also. The most profitable business for a bank is to finance the MSME sector, because here they can get all type of charges. They can get good processing fees. No large company pays any processing fees. They can get inspection charges, legal charges, documentation charges, a higher rate of interest. Large corporates negotiate everything so strongly that those funding most of the time are not profitable for the banking sector. But for this, you have to maintain the financial discipline, be it a debt or be it a equity. So balance sheet strength is very, very important. These MSMEs don't have any expertise in product development, technology adoption, marketing strategy. They have problem in HR also, because many times what happens whenever any employee joins these companies, either they work as an internship, they learn here, then they go to either to some large company or to some other big company. They are not aware of various schemes being launched by them. There are a lot of subsidies available. Maybe in some other session we can discuss about other schemes, subsidies, and so on and so forth. Many of you will be aware that many state government have introduced a lot of subsidies. There are discounts on stamp duty for the registration of land, for purchase of machine also there are subsidies, for construction building in UP also, and in other states also there are a lot of subsidies. But these MSMEs are not aware of various schemes. So as CA Manoj Lambaji was referring to my YouTube channel, it happened in fact by accident that I started posting some videos on a YouTube channel. And so initially I and my entire team was of the opinion that nobody will watch these videos because pre-COVID, this was the situation perhaps that YouTube and all those things were known for jokes, dance, music, and all those things. Informative videos were very less perhaps, but we started कि चलो 2-4 लोग भी देख लेंगे तो किसी के काम तो आएगा. And today we have actually more than 4 crore viewers on this channel. These MSMEs don't have a good infrastructure and marketing tools, branding. These are very costly. They are not able to do investment on these things. They don't have financial literacy and compliances. Today itself, I was discussing with a very senior partner of one of the top law firm, and we were discussing this issue only, that how to educate these MSMEs on legal aspects to make them compliant. They don't have the skilled staff with them. This I'm just showing to let you know that how important is MSME sector and what is the vision of the government for this MSME sector. I am too small, but I got a call from the Prime Minister's office that Prime Minister wants to meet you. मैंने सोचा कोई मजाक कर रहा है. So such a small person, Prime Minister's office is calling and saying that Prime Minister wants to meet you, and that too at his residence. And but it was true. The meeting was for about 3 hours 40 minutes. I also spoke about 30-35 minutes. Honorable Prime Minister wants to listen from the participants, which were only 8 participants on various sectors, on FMCG, power, and other sectors, and I was representing the MSME sector. So this photo just shows the importance of micro, small, and medium enterprises, and many of the suggestions I gave for the benefit of MSMEs have already been implemented. We have signed MOUs with most of the banks, particularly the public sector bank, wherein we say that ultimate decision of sanction or rejection is yours. But what we will do, we will do the initial due diligence of the MSMEs, will ensure that the proposals which are submitted to you by the chamber, since I represent the Chamber of Indian Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, is a bankable proposal. All the documents which are required by you are submitted to you in one go. And then you take your decision. Even if you want to reject any proposal, you have to give a reason to the MSME that what is the reason for you to not sanctioning the loan to any particular MSME, because it can be a good learning for that MSME also. कि अगर उनको पता चल जाए कि क्या बैंक ने क्या हमें कमी पाई है and why they are not financing us, then it can be a good learning for them also. So we have signed MOUs with most of the public sector banks and are doing great in this. We have signed MOU with the UP government also for an investment of 1,000 crore rupees under Global Investor Summit. We have a Solomon Facility Center with in association with SIBBI. We have an incubation center in association with the State Bank of India. As I was just referring to that, most talk subject is loan from the banks, and the MSMEs usually say that bankers to loan dete nahi hai humko. The things is absolutely reverse. Bankers are also searching for the MSME, but मैं इसको हमेशा बोलता हूँ, it's like a shaadi.com. That लड़का लड़की दोनों घूम रहे हैं मार्केट में, और लड़के वाले भी कह रहे हैं कि भैया लड़की नहीं मिल रही, लड़की वाले भी कह रहे हैं कि लड़का नहीं मिल रहा. सो द बैंकर्स आर, बट जन्मपत्री उनकी मिलनी चाहिए, बिकॉज जन्मपत्री में बैंकर्स का है दैट दे हैव सर्टेन रेशियोज, दे हैव सर्टेन कंडीशंस, they have certain CIBIL requirement or credit bureau requirement, so on and so forth. And the Janampatri of the MSMEs is their balance sheet. If they both matches, bankers are very keen to finance these MSMEs. So we introduced one msmeloans.co.in portal also, wherein we are trying to assist the MSMEs. We introduced this one nodefaulters.com to take care of the delayed payment problems of MSMEs. Now, as far as major schemes and the loan schemes for MSMEs and startup, before starting this thing, I hope that all of you will be aware of Udyam registration. This is the only registration for micro, small and medium enterprises. And earlier, as per the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, and there is a act, which is Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Act 2006, which was inducted on 2nd of October 2006. The definition was different. It was based on only investment in plant and machinery, and it was different for manufacturing sector and service sector. There were some other conditions like how to calculate the investment. Will it be on the cost price, the WDV? Now, in 2020, this definition of MSME has already been changed, and now the earlier Udyog registration is renamed as Udyam registration. So this is the definition of micro, small and medium enterprises. So micro enterprises are those, whether in service or in manufacturing, those have investment in plant and machinery or equipment up to rupees 1 crore rupees and turnover up to rupees 5 crore rupees. Small enterprises are those where investment in plant and machinery or equipment is up to 10 crore rupees and turnover is up to 50 crore. And the medium are those where investment in plant and machinery or equipment is up to 50 crore rupees and turnover is up to 250 crore. Perhaps you all will be aware that export turnover need to be excluded from the total turnover. So if any company is there and the turnover is 300 crore rupees but the export turnover is 70 crore rupees, so it will be under MSME. Another very important aspect of this definition is that both the condition, because the and is there in between, so both the conditions have to be fulfilled. So if, say for example, take any company wherein investment is less than 1 crore rupees, but the turnover is 5 crore 1 lakh, the enterprise will immediately be classified under small enterprises, not under micro enterprises. So both these conditions have to be complied with for classification of any enterprises in any category. So it is based on the self-declaration. It is available free of cost. I have seen that there are many online portals wherein they are charging the fees and all. So it is available absolute free of cost. You can just see sometime my video on MSME helpline, wherein I have posted a video that how to get your Udyam registration in 7 minutes, absolute free of cost. Go to udyamregistration.gov.in, wherein there is gov.in is a government site. No document need to be uploaded, and it's available online. The moment you file your application, you will get your Udyam registration. There is a composite criteria. I already discussed that both the conditions have to be fulfilled. Export turnover need to be excluded. There is no difference in manufacturing or service sector. Conditions are same. For the plant and machinery, WDV need to be considered. Then on July 2021, retail and wholesale trade were also included under micro, small and medium enterprises, but for a very specific purpose, for the purpose of priority sector lending to these companies. No other facility will be available. So like delayed payment issue is there, Section 43 BH and all. I'm confident that you might have attended the last session wherein Section 43 BH was discussed, and the traders are not to be included for that purpose. Urban street vendors were also included in this MSME registration, but these are restricted to priority sector lending. So I have posted some videos on my MSME helpline YouTube channel. Sometime you can go and watch them. These are in very simple Hindi language. This is very important announcement by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. What happens, in fact, if I am a micro enterprise and my turnover goes beyond the prescribed limit or investment goes above the prescribed limit, I'm always afraid, yeah, bacha, I'll not be able to get the benefits of micro. Likewise for the small and medium enterprises. So many times the ministry has observed that, MSMEs are afraid of upgradation also. So उनकी growth पर भी problem हो रही थी. So there were a lot of demand from the MSME sector. So micro to small, small to medium, medium to large. So the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises has issued a notification on October 2022, wherein they have said that in case of an upward change in terms of investment in plant and machinery or equipment or turnover or both, so by any of the reason, if there is an upward change and consequent reclassification, an enterprise shall continue to avail of all non-tax benefits of the category micro, small or medium it was in before the reclassification for a period of 3 years from the date of such upward change. So one very interesting example and benefit to MSMEs out of this notification. Suppose you are running an enterprise or your client is running an enterprise in micro and small enterprises category, maybe in micro or in a small. So turnover up to 50 crore is the higher limit. The company got a CDT MSC collateral free loan, which Raj Chawla ji was referring to, up to maybe 5 crore rupees, any amount. And the turnover, if the turnover goes above 50 crore, perhaps these companies will be afraid of, if my turnover will be above 50 crore rupees, this loan of maybe 5 crore rupees will not be guaranteed by the government under CGTMSE, and bankers will ask for a collateral security to secure the loan. But you can show this notification to the bankers that this CGTMSE will definitely be available for the next 3 years, even if the turnover goes to 50 crore, 100 crore, or even more. If there is a reclassification and from the date of reclassification, this same status and the benefits will definitely be available. I have made a video on this also. अब MSME अपने accreditation से नहीं डरेंगे, 3 साल की छूट. Startup is again a very important subject where the government has a lot of thrust on this. So, and they were also seeking some collateral-free loans because these startup also need funding at the initial stage, and many times they feel that bankers are not interested to fund them. So the government Ministry of MSME has introduced one important scheme, which is CGSS, Credit Guarantee Scheme for Startup. It was introduced on 6th of October 2022, and this notification was issued by Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, DPIIT. The objective of this credit guarantee scheme for startup is like same, which is for the credit guarantee scheme trust for micro and small enterprises, where in case of MSME, the outer limit is 5 crore rupees for collateral security loan, which we'll discuss. But here for the startup, they have gone one step ahead, and the circular has informed that limit up to rupees 10 crore will be available against the credit instrument extended by member institutions to finance eligible startup. So the basic requirement to avail any CGSS, credit guarantee scheme for a startup, is one, it should be registered under DPIIT as a startup. I would also like to share with you, friends, that getting a startup registration is not a tough job. There are certain requirements. This startup registration is available online. You need not to go to any of the office. Sitting at your office, you can apply the startup registration if the company is not more than 10 years old. So there are certain guidelines for registration as startup. I am quite confident that all of you will definitely be aware of startup registration guideline. If any question will be there, I'll be happy to answer that. Another eligibility condition is, which is normally in every loan, the startup is not in default to any lending investing institution and not classified as NPA. कौन करेगा भैया NPA को या defaulter को? Now, we need to understand what is the meaning of the default. Normally, when we discuss with the MSMEs or startup, and we ask that भैया कोई default तो नहीं है पुराने लोन में? नहीं सर, हम कोई default नहीं करते. यूं 10-20 दिन का डिले हो गया बात अलग है, but 90 days नहीं होने देते. This is very much wrong information, wrong understanding by these MSMEs or by anybody. Default of the definition is very clear, 1 rupee 1 day. So even if there is a delay of 1 rupee for 1 day, it will be reflected as default. So say, for example, if 1 lakh rupees is payable on 31st of March and the company or the enterprise pays 99,999 on 31st March and 1 rupee is paid on 1st of April, the company or the enterprise will be marked as a defaulting company. So need not to be confused on this. And I'll be always advised to the MSME that why don't you pay 2 days earlier? Because to me, I have written a letter to the highest authority of the country that due date ka concept hi galat hai. In other aspect also. So when we understand that due date I suppose it should be a last date, not the due date. This is very important eligibility condition of this scheme. Suppose today you incorporate a company, you take a startup license, registration, and you go to any bank that you give me loan under credit guarantee scheme for startups of up to 10 crore, maybe 1 crore, 2 crore, 3 crore. Bankers will not be able to give you finance. Because see, most of the startups demand loan for some intangible assets. What is their investment for which they need the loan? वो कहेंगे कि साहब we need to create a app. So maybe 2 crore rupees will be the cost of app creation. Then they need to hire highly paid team members. They need to pay salary to these staff. But friends, it's very difficult for the bankers to fund these intangible assets because उनके पास जो computer, server, printer, these type of asset, there is no resale value for those things. So even the primary security is not there. So the scheme says that to ensure that the company has cash flow and will be able to repay the loan because it's a public money, they have put a condition that the startup must have reached a stage of stable revenue stream. Maybe the main purpose is to be able to repay the loan as assessed from audited monthly statement over a 12 months period. So the company should have been running for at least last 1 year and should have cash profits. I have made a video on this also, collateral free unsecured loan up to rupees 10 crore to startups. Another scheme, very famous scheme, is Credit Guarantee Fund Trust for Micro and Small Enterprises, जिसको हम short में CDT MSC बोलते हैं. Most of the time, it's a collateral free loan. So this is available to both new and existing micro and small enterprises. This is very important because कई बार कहते हैं कि नयों को कुछ मिलता नहीं है जी. So this scheme is available even to the new micro and small enterprises. And friend, as the name is CGTMSE, MSME, it means that the scheme is available for micro and small enterprises. The last M is not covered under this scheme. So if the any enterprise is a medium enterprises, this scheme will not be available to those enterprises. So it is available to both new and existing enterprises. But naturally, if it is a new enterprise, the promoter have to satisfy the bankers that what experience they have, why they are putting this industry, whether they will be able to repay the loan or not. So this they have to definitely satisfy to the bankers. The maximum credit facility is up to 5 crore rupees. It can be in the form of fund-based. It can be in the form of non-fund-based. It can be a term loan. It can be a working capital. Loans from NBFCs are also covered under CDT MSC. So I have made a video on this also. Loan आप लोग guarantee सरकार देगी CDTMA scheme for micro and small enterprises. This scheme is available for all, for manufacturer, for service sector, and for traders as well. Another scheme for the finance to MSME is Prime Minister's Employment Generation Program, which is PMEGP. It is available only and only for the new projects. If there is any existing enterprise, the loan under this PMEGP will not be available. And this loan scheme is available along with the subsidy. Great scheme. It is for the employment generation plan of the government of India. So what they wish that job creator, then job seeker. So the main agenda of this scheme is that don't try to be a job seeker. You be a job creator, start maybe a small enterprise तो एक छोटा सा एंटरप्राइज होगा, दे विल आल्सो बी रिक्वायर्ड टू एम्प्लॉय एटलीस्ट 2-3 पीपल. एक पियोन चाहिए होगा, एक असिस्टेंट चाहिए होगा, some accountant will be required, so on and so forth. So here the minimum age is 18 years of age. So anybody who is 18 years or above can take loan under this PMEGP. And the margin are also very attractive. The promoter's margin here is only 10% for general category, and for special category it is only 5%. There is no restriction on the qualification except that minimum 8th standard तो भैया पास किया होना चाहिए to understand the financial and the businesses. Self-help group, societies and charitable trusts are also eligible to take loan under this scheme. But these loans are available for some small enterprises. So maximum cost of project under this scheme can be up to 50 lakhs in case of manufacturing sector and 20 lakhs in case of service sector. But I will let you know that if any enterprise takes, any promoter take loan under this scheme, maybe for manufacturing up to 50 lakh and service sector up to 20 lakh, and they grow, what are the options available? This also I'll just discuss. In this scheme, subsidies are also available, and subsidies are based on the general category, special category, and urban or rural area. So if any enterprise is coming in urban area, by a general category entrepreneur, the subsidy is 15%. If it is urban area by any special category promoter, the subsidy is 25%. In case of rural area, general category entrepreneurs will be eligible to get 25% subsidy, and special category entrepreneurs will be eligible to get 35% subsidy. As far as special category is concerned, it includes SC, ST, OBC, minorities, women, ex-servicemen, physically handicapped, northern eastern region, hilly and border areas. Now this is if any enterprise after taking this PMEGP loan is doing good, so they can apply for additional loan under upgradation of existing unit under PMEGP. So maximum project cost here for manufacturing can be up to 100 lakhs or 1 crore, and for service sector it can go up to 25 lakhs. But the condition is that you should be a good paymaster. Repayment of your loan should be always regular. You have repaid your loan, and your unit is profitable for past 3 years. Here the margin is 10%, whether it's a general category or special category, and subsidy calculation are also different. Subsidy is 15% of the project cost and 20% in hilly area or northeast region. So special category, general category, rural, urban, those things are not applicable here. You can apply kviconline.gov.in at PMEGP portal. I have made certain videos on this PMEGP also. There is another scheme called Mudra. You may be serving to some small, very small entrepreneurs, या कोई बहुत छोटे लोग जो आते हैं, very small micro enterprises. This scheme is particularly available for them. So loan amount is not so big under this Mudra, but most of the banks, friends, have done this Mudra loan application totally digital. You can apply. I'll tell you the common portal in this presentation, and every bank has a link for online loan application under Mudra loan. You can go there, apply, and get the online sanction as well. So here only KYC documents are required. Loan proposal ultimately need to be viable. You have to satisfy to the bankers. There are 3 types of loan. Shishu loan up to 50,000 rupees. Kishore थोड़ा बड़े हुए तो 50,000 to 5 lakhs, और बड़े जवान हो गए तो then Tarun loan from 5 lakhs rupees to 10 lakhs rupees. You can online apply either on Mudra site or there is a Jan Samarth portal. I'll just discuss on this Jan Samarth. There is another very important, interesting scheme is Stand Up India. It is available for SC, ST, and women entrepreneur. And for women entrepreneur, many times we have faced the question that if there is a company or there is a partnership firm, there are two partners, one is male, one is female, whether it will be considered as women entrepreneur, women enterprise, or non-women enterprise. So the guidelines are clear that if the share of the SC, ST, or woman partner, promoter, director is 51% or more, it will be classified under SC, ST, women entrepreneur and will be eligible to get loan under Stand Up India scheme. Each bank, every branch of each bank has been mandated to disburse the loan to at least one loan for SC, ST and one loan to women entrepreneur. It is also available again for setting up a new enterprise. It can be manufacturing, service, or trading sector. Here the loan amount is 10 lakh to 1 crore rupees. So if the requirement is between 10 lakh to 1 crore, the enterprise can take loan under the Stand Up India scheme. There should not have been any default. Margin money is 25%. And security here can be CDT MSC also. The guarantee can be covered through CDT MSC under this Stand Up scheme. This is a Jan Samarth portal, very important portal. It was launched by none other than Honorable Prime Minister of our country. You can get three things here. First, you have to calculate the loan eligibility, under which scheme, how much loan will be eligible for any enterprise. So they ask for some certain information. You fill up those information. Based on your information, the portal will tell under which scheme you will be eligible and what will be the loan amount for which you are eligible. If you are satisfied with this, you go to the second step, which is loan application, complete the loan application. When the loan application is completed, you will get a number and then you can track your loan application with that registration number. This is the portal, jansamarth.in. Anybody can apply and get a approval sitting at their office. So loan category is comprised of 13 government scheme under which loans can be applied online through this portal. So education loan, agri infrastructure loan, business activity loan, and livelihood loan are covered to be applied on this Jan Samarth portal. So as this I have already discussed with you that first you have to check the eligibility, then apply online, and you can select the lender also. There are many lenders in fact sitting on this portal waiting for your application. When there is any eligibility decided and you apply loan, you will be able to see all the lenders, select the lender, and you will get the approval from that bank and the branch. And then you can track the real-time status of loan application. Ke bhaiya kahan hai meri loan application, batao. So again, I have made a video of this. Jan Samarth Online, three things: loan eligibility, loan application, and tracking of application. This scheme has been launched recently, very recently, by Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, which is MSME Green Investment and Financing for Transformation scheme. This is in short, it is MSE gift scheme. This is very important scheme for financing to green projects of any enterprise. Here, interest subvention is available. So the object of this scheme is to promote the adoption of sustainable and eco-friendly practice and technology and renewable energy source. Here, the government is committed to provide concessional financial assistance to MSMEs for investment in the adoption of green technology and practices. This is the main object, and the third object is to create awareness about the best practices, for which I suppose your Mukesh Gupta is trying to support the government in creating the awareness for this scheme or for any of the scheme being launched by Government of India. So component of this scheme are like this, that one is interest subvention. Interest subvention of up 2% per annum up to term loan of limit of 2 crore rupees. So if you need loan up to 2 crore rupees, then whatever interest will be applicable on your loan based on your rating and other things, the interest subvention of 2% will be given by government. And this loan can be covered under guarantee scheme of the Ministry of MSME. So what are the eligibility? For eligibility, the enterprise should have Udyam registration. This is most important registration, which I feel that you should advise your clients to get this Udyam registration, and all chartered accountants being the service provider should also get this Udyam registration for their own firms. And this scheme is available for the existing projects only. These are the sectors which are covered under this scheme: resource efficiency, waste management, adoption water management, water efficiency, wastewater treatment, green building, environmental protection, pollution control and prevention, clean transportation like electric, hybrid, EV charging stations, waste management like compressed biogas, bioethanol, e-waste, waste to energy, LNG, smart grid, carbon credit, carbon capture, any new innovative project with potential for a high impact on climate upon necessary approval. You all will be aware that we all are concerned, and Honorable Prime Minister has already told many times about this net zero. So I have made a video on this. Up credit link capital subsidy milegi. No, this is the other scheme, which is MSME scheme for promotion and investment in circular economy, which is MSE Spice. So this is the short name of this scheme, MSE Spice. The full name is MSE Scheme for Promotion and Investment in Circular Economy. Here, there was a scheme of credit link capital subsidy scheme. Many MSMEs were asking again and again that where that credit link subsidy scheme has gone, but this was discontinued since many years. Now the government has again introduced for a specific purpose this credit link capital subsidy scheme. Here the objective is to enable MSEs to comply with extended product responsibility and waste recycling target set for industry. So circular economy, wherein there is any recycling. So the component of this scheme is one, credit link capital subsidy scheme, and the other is awareness generation. For awareness generation, I again would like to impress upon that I am trying to make this scheme awareness among all MSMEs. These are basic conditions that only brownfield projects are eligible to get low subsidy under this scheme. Both domestic and global plant and machinery are eligible to get subsidy under this scheme. Maximum of 50 lakhs investment is eligible for this subsidy, and the subsidy is 25%. So 25% of 50 lakh rupees will be the subsidy amount. So the maximum subsidy amount can be 12.5 lakh rupees. If any enterprise wish to invest more than 50 lakh rupees, they can invest, but the subsidy amount can be maximum up to 12.5 lakh. Here again, the eligibility, Udyam registration is must, and only the brownfield project, the existing projects are eligible to get loan under this scheme. Right. May I take just 1 minute break, sir? Sir, if you permit, I may take 1 minute break.
Yes, sir, you can take.
Just 1 minute.
ये तो रेड लाइट तो बंद हो गई।
Sorry, sir.
No problem, sir, no problem. Please continue.
Yeah. So under this scheme, MSME, MSCs only, not the medium enterprises, which are registered under Udyam registration, will be eligible to get this subsidy, and only existing projects will be eligible to get subsidy for the expansion plan under circular economy. Another important scheme is Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. So most of the time, the startup face a big challenge that at the very initial stage for proof of concept trial, prototype development, product trial, market entry, commercialization, even before going to the market, these startup need funding for the prototype development, product trials, and so on and so forth. How to fund these startups? Because most of the time the banks are not able to finance to these startups if there is no cash flow. Otherwise, what will happen if they finance them and there is no cash flow? We can easily understand, being the chartered accountant, that on 90th day the company will be mandatorily classified as NPA. So where there are no cash flow, how to fund these type of startup? The government has brought in this Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. So once the proof of concept is there, for product trial, product development, market entry, and commercialization, this uh, seed fund is available to the startups. Because banks cannot give to the startup. Which are the eligible startup which can get Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. So the startup should be registered and recognized by DPIIT as a startup. Must have a business idea to develop a product or service with a market fit, viable commercialization, and scope of scaling. Whenever we discuss with the startup, for the startup, scaling is a very important factor. So there should be a scope of scaling only when you will get the startup registration. That is also one condition to get the DPIIT registration as an startup. But you need to satisfy that the project will be a market fit. Market would welcome this startup idea and will be a viable project. Another eligibility for this seed fund scheme is that the startup should be using technology in its core product or service or business model or distribution model. Or whenever we discuss the startup, this is also again very talk subject that the startup should be able to solve any problem. So the methodology to solve the problem should also be proved for getting the funding under the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. Shareholding by the Indian promoters in the startup should be at least 51% at the time of application to the incubator. I'll just let you know what is the role of incubator and how it is to be done, where to apply. Should not have received more than 10 lakh of monetary support under any other central or state government scheme. Because many state governments are also having a lot of scheme for the startup. So if any startup has taken any financial support from any other state government scheme, then that will not be eligible to get Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. This is the important thing, that how much amount will be available under this scheme. So up to 20 lakhs rupees will be available as a grant. And this grant will be for validation of proof of concept, prototype development, or product trials. So if you are at this stage, the grant up to 20 lakh will be available, and up to rupees 50 lakhs of investment of for market entry, commercialization, or scaling up. So if these three things are there for which you require funding, it will be available up to 50 lakh rupees through convertible debenture or debt-linked instrument. These are some of the preferred sector for funding under Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. But let me clarify that these are only preferred sector. If you are into any sector which is other than these preferred sector, still you can get funding under the Startup India Seed Fund Scheme. So the social impact, waste management, water management, financial inclusion, education, agriculture, food processing, biotechnology, healthcare, energy, mobility, defense, space, railways, oil and gas, textile. These are the sector where you can apply for Startup India Seed Fund. And this is the address from where you can apply for Startup India Seed Fund. seedfund.startupindia.gov.in. So what happens when you apply over here? There you can apply on with maximum of 3 incubators. So the disbursement and sanction, everything is done by the incubators. So government has empaneled a lot of incubators, and you need to apply to maximum of 3 incubator at one time. They will study your application, may discuss with you, may call for you for the discussion, understand your startup, and any one of them may finalize to give funding to you. So this is very good scheme wherein the startup can get, and you can assist your startup clients for in arranging the grant as well as debt instrument. So today, friends, for the financing schemes, I suppose this is all from my side, and there are other schemes of the MSME ministry, but today I was told that schemes related to the financing need to be discussed. Now, sir, we can take some questions.
Pushpa, can I ask you one question?
Ma'am, is there any question, ma'am? Ma'am, there is any question comes to you?
Sir, can I ask you one question?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, for CGMST scheme, banks are not giving
Hello.
without collateral. In that case, what we will do?
Sir, so if you see the data, the things are quite different, sir. Most of the time, this is the complaint that bankers are not comfortable in giving loan under CDT-MSC scheme, that collateral-free loan scheme. There was a recent study by State Bank of India, which also suggested that the capital requirement by the banks for any loan in case they finance under CDT-MSC and in case they finance under collateral-based funding. So the requirement of the capital for the banks will be much less if they finance under CDT-MSC. But still, yes, I agree with you to some extent that this is the general tendency of the bank. First, they try to get some collateral security, but where the promoters don't have the security, right? If any promoter has a security, I suppose they should not be shy of providing the collateral security because it is not going to purchase that property. Bank is not going to do anything with that property. This is just security. If we are confident on our project, I don't feel that we should be shy of giving the collateral security. But where the project is viable and the promoters actually don't have any security, banks are coming forward to give the collateral-free loan. There are n number of, and we have the success stories, n number of success stories where we have been able to arrange to convince the bankers to give collateral-free loan up to 5 crore rupees to n number of entrepreneurs. Only issue is that sometime what happens practically, what we have felt that when we go to any branch, so normally the branch manager itself are not aware about the benefits of this scheme. It's the better scheme than any collateral security, because in case of collateral security, the bankers have to, do the valuation, legal, and there can be any problem in the legal or the valuation later on, then they go into deep trouble. So here the government gives the guarantee. So many a times, but the branch manager are also not aware of the benefits of this scheme. At the top level, even at the board level, we are concerned, all the banks are concerned to give collateral-free loan to the MSMEs. Best way is, sir, that you apply online on the portal of any bank, or it can be applied on PSB loan in 59 minutes with a portal. Any enterprise can apply. If it is an existing unit, they can apply. The main issue is that particularly in the public sector and banks, there is no system of initial login of the application. If we go to the branch and the branch manager says, though he may not be having the power of even 10 lakh, he refuses, nahi, main nahi karunga, mujhe to security lao. Who is he to say that I'll not do this proposal? Because there is delegation of power, competent authority may be their GM or DGM or AGM, and the branch manager may be the chief manager or senior manager. You ask them that you take my application give me a receipt, and whatever you need to say, you say in writing to me. Perhaps that is the best advice I can give to you at this time, sir.
Sir, regional office without seeing any application, they are totally, we can go only in hybrid mode. I have very bad experience with the three PSU banks.
आप हमें बताइए सर, because we have the MOUs with almost all the public sector bank. What we do to come out of this problem, in fact, this MOU has been signed by us with almost all public sector banks. What we do here that we send the any proposal after the initial due diligence, ratio analysis, and all those things. We send the proposal to the head office, be it 10 lakh rupees proposal only. We send it to their head office so that the head of the MSME department at the head office level is aware of this proposal. Then we ask them that now you let us know which branch we need to contact. They allocate it to some branch, then it is difficult for the branch manager to do that.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Gupta ji, there are some questions from the participants.
Sir.
The first question is there any interest subvention on CGT MSME loan?
Reverse. Why I'm saying with reverse, that there is no interest subvention on CGT MSC, rather there is some fees to be paid for availing this guarantee. Earlier it was too high, now it has been reduced to a certain level, but still fees is to be paid for availing the credit guarantee scheme.
Okay. And then next question is, are there any facility for existing micro enterprises?
Yeah. Why not? So any they can apply under any scheme. So normal MSME schemes are there. These are some specific schemes. So only one thing I would like to say, that you need to satisfy to the banker only one thing, that your business is viable, you are able to earn for you and for the bank both. If this is there, definitely any bank, I hope that any bank and every bank will be willing to fund you.
The next question is, what is the rate of interest for all these loans by the government of India? I want to know approx rate of interest.
So first of all, Government of India don't charge any interest. So these loans and any loans is given by scheme might have been launched by ministry or by RBI or by any other body. But the loans are given by the financial institution, the lending institution. The lending institutions are banks, NBFCs, SIDBI. These are the lending institution majorly. Any bank, public sector, private sector bank, small finance bank and all those things. So rates are defined by these, decided by these banks, and rate of interest is majorly based on the rating of any particular business. So they rate more risk, more interest. But as you asked that generally, so in today's time, because it is linked with the RBI rate, so somewhere between 9% to 11% per annum you can expect.
सर, क्या सभी पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स का रेट एक जैसा रहता है या वेरिएशन होगी?
थोड़ा बहुत होता है सर, बहुत ज्यादा नहीं होता, बट थोड़ा सा हो सकता है सर कि 0.25% फर्क आ सकता है, 0.5% का फर्क आ सकता है. अगेन इट इज बेस्ड ऑन द क्रेडिट रेटिंग सर. तो व्हाट बैंक डज इन फैक्ट, दे डू और इंटरनल रेटिंग. Then there is a CMR reporting which is very important by any credit bureau. तो जैसे हमारा सिबिल स्कोर होता है इंडिविजुअल का, ऐसी कंपनी का भी CMR रेटिंग होती है. So in case of सिबिल score, it is up to 900, and anything more than 700 is to be considered good. In case of CMR, the rating is 1 to 10. उसमें उल्टा होता है, the lower the rating, the best is the rating. Better is the rating. So 1 to 4 में होता है रेट अच्छा मिलता है, 5, 6, 7 में होता है थोड़ा रेट और बढ़ जाता है, 8, 9, 10 को कोई हाथ ही नहीं लगाता है. So rate of interest again is based on the कि spread कितना है which the bank will charge based on the risk they assess for financing to any industry.
सर, कोई मैक्सिमम लिमिट भी है
लोन की?
नहीं, लोन की तो 5 करोड़ है जैसे CGTMS स्कीम में. मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि जैसे आपने कहा जनरली 9 to 11%. 12, 15, 18 कोई हायर लिमिट भी फिक्स है सीजीटी में स्कीम में, कितना चार्ज हो सकता है?
सर इट्स ए गुड क्वेश्चन। सो मैं आपको बताऊं, डिपेंड्स कि जैसे बैंक में तो आई कैन से कि नॉर्मली बैंक में तो यही रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट है। इफ यू गो टू सम एनबीएफसी, आई हैव सीन द एनबीएफसी दैट दे आर गिविंग नो विदाउट एनी सीडीटीएमएससी कवर आल्सो, राइट?
ओके।
अनसिक्योर्ड बिजनेस लोन 20 लाख, 50 लाख, 1 करोड़ तक देते हैं बैंक। These NBFCs are charging very exorbitant rate. 20, 21, I have seen a sanction where the rate of interest is marked as 36% per annum.
या
Right? But that is for the unsecured small ticket size loan.
सर जनरली क्या देखा गया है कि जैसे आप एमएसएमई को रिप्रेजेंट भी कर रहे हैं, तो जो माइक्रो इंटरप्राइजेस हैं, बेसिकली माइक्रो में भी मैं कहूंगा इनफॉर्मल माइक्रो, उनको पैसा सस्ता मिलना चाहिए, उन्हें ही महंगा मिलता है, क्योंकि
So
उनके
you,
पास ना तो प्राइमरी सिक्योरिटी है, ना कोलेटरल है, ना कोई आइडेंटिटी है।
so you perhaps are talking about the microfinance institution,
या
right? The very informal enterprises which you are talking about. से तो गवर्नमेंट
या
ने कर दिया अभी, इनको भी उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन देना शुरू कर दिया। Those don't have GST, don't have PAN, उनके लिए भी एक उद्यम असिस्ट करके एक स्कीम लेकर आई है गवर्नमेंट, बट विल
या
नॉट डिस्कस दैट हियर। तो उसमें 1 करोड़ से ज्यादा अभी रजिस्ट्रेशन हो चुके हैं। जब मैंने लास्ट देखा था 15-20 दिन पहले, अभी और बढ़ गए होंगे। बट दिस माइक्रो फाइनेंस इंस्टीट्यूशन, यस यू आर राइट दैट इफ देर इज एनी very micro informal businesses, maybe in the form of help group, in the villages and all those are funded by MFI, not even by banks, and the rate of interest definitely is much higher than what we were discussing. But उनके साथ सर होता क्या है? So we have also raised this question many a time. But उनके साथ सर the issue is that bankers are not able to fund those type of unit because उनका bandwidth है bankers के पास नहीं है to funding to these small non-formal, छोटे छोटे, किसी को एक भैंस खरीदने के लिए चाहिए, किसी को कोई और छोटा मोटा काम करना चाहिए, एक सिलाई मशीन लेनी है, 25,000 रुपये चाहिए, 50,000 रुपये चाहिए, दिस टाइप ऑफ स्मॉल इनफॉर्मल टाइप ऑफ इंडस्ट्री, जिनका कोई रिकॉर्ड नहीं है, कोई सिविल में रिकॉर्ड नहीं है, कोई क्रेडिट ब्यूरो में कहीं किसी का रिकॉर्ड नहीं है, रिकवरी उनसे कैसे की जाएगी? Bankers are not able to send रिकवरी एजेंट टाइप ऑफ थिंग और देयर स्टाफ इनफैक्ट टू कलेक्ट ऑन ए मंथली बेसिस और वीकली बेसिस। वहां पर एमएफआई आर प्लेइंग इंपॉर्टेंट रोल। एंड सर क्या होता है, एक सब्जी वाला है जैसे,
जी
जस्ट
सर।
एक सब्जी वाला ठेला लगा रहा है, उसको नो बैंक विल बी एबल टू फंड दैट ठेले वाला। अभी तो खैर पीएम स्वनिधि स्कीम इज देयर, बट स्टिल दे मे बी फाइंडिंग इट डिफिकल्ट। और उनका होता क्या है कि पर दे आर, उनका आप अगर मार्जिन देखेंगे ना, दे विल बी वर्किंग ऑन ए 100% मार्जिन पर डे। So if they purchase the vegetable of say 1,000 rupees in the morning from the wholesale vegetable market, at the end they will be getting a 2,000 rupees sale. So their earning is normally 100 times. 1,000 इन्वेस्ट करेंगे तो they will be able to get 2,000 rupees by that. उनका पर डे रेवेन्यू अगर अर्निंग देखें आप उनकी 100% पर डे, तो जस्ट इमेजिन व्हाट इज द रेवेन्यू, दो इससे स्मॉल अमाउंट। तो उनके लिए कोई करता नहीं है, तो उनको फिर एमएफआई माइक्रो फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन के लिए उनको ये जो इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया, उसका कंसेप्ट ये है that these will charge higher rate of interest because they get the funding from the banks itself. All these MFI NBFCs are getting the funding from the banks itself, and then उसके ऊपर 10% का स्प्रेड का उनको परमिशन है कि आपको अगर 11% से मिल रहा है तो आप 21% तक चार्ज कर लो उनसे। So likewise to take care of your expenses, your HR cost and everything. This is how it works.
सर
But you are
एक
right.
रिप्रेजेंटेशन मैं आपको देना चाहता हूँ, जैसे आपने कहा कि डिफरेंट बैंक्स के डिफरेंट रेट हैं, माइक्रो फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशन और एनबीएफसी के डिफरेंट रेट हैं, तो सब सीजीटीएमएसपी की साइट पे रजिस्टर्ड हैं। तो वहां पर हम व्यूअर्स को एक फैसिलिटी दे सकते हैं कि ये दीस इंस्टीट्यूशन आर प्रोवाइडिंग लोन्स अंडर सीजीटीएमएस स्कीम एट दैट रेट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट। एक ब्रैकेट दे सकते हैं कि 9 to 11, 11 to 13, 13 to 16। तो वहां से यूजर को पता चल जाएगा कि कौन सा बैंक चीपेस्ट दे रहा है। और एक चीज और दिक्कत जो आ रही है, बहुत से बैंक ये कहते हैं सर कि मेरा तो टारगेट अचीव हो गया सीजीटी में से का, और बहुत कहते हैं कि हमारे पास कोई कस्टमर आ ही नहीं रहा, सारे फंड पड़े हैं। लेकिन जो कस्टमर है, जो जिस बोरोर है, उसे ये इंफॉर्मेशन ही नहीं है कि किसका खत्म हो गया और क्या नहीं है। जब सीजीटी में प्लेटफॉर्म इज देयर, तो गवर्नमेंट को चाहिए कि वहां डाल दे।
सर वैसे बताऊं, ऐसा कोई टारगेट नहीं है कि टारगेट खत्म हो गए हैं किसी बैंक के। ऐसा ये किसी ने बहकाने के लिए किसी ने बोल दिया है ब्रांच मैनेजर ने। ऐसे कोई टारगेट नहीं है कि मैक्सिमम सीडीडी एमएससी में इतना कर सकते हैं, जितना चाहे करिए। तो ये किसी ने, ब्रांच मैनेजर ने ऐसे ही अपना फेल दिया,
अच्छा,
झूठा सच्चा
चलिए
स्टेटमेंट।
नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन सर, व्हाट आर द कंसेशंस ऑन ग्रीन फाइनेंस फॉर एमएसएमई?
I suppose I already discussed which are available. The recent scheme, gift scheme, I already discussed that, and 2% interest subvention I have informed. And then various state governments also have some subsidies, but that is a very long subject. Different states, different schemes, different industrial policy. We can discuss schemes of various state government subsidy scheme on some other day.
And sir, if the loans are given to MSME which are unsecured by public financial institution, are they were have priority in recovery as compared to unsecured creditors?
I couldn't understand.
सर ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं, जैसे सीजीटीएमएस स्कीम में लोन हो रहे हैं तो कोलेटरल सिक्योरिटी तो कोई है नहीं, प्राइमरी सिक्योरिटी देयर, और ये अनसिक्योर्ड क्रेडिटर की तरह है उनके पास, तो बैंक को जब कभी इसको रिकवर करना है तो उन्हें कोई प्रायोरिटी मिलेगी रिकवरी में?
मेरे को मतलब मैं अभी भी नहीं समझ पाया सर। सपोज ऐसे एग्जांपल लें कि दो लोन है। एक लोन बैंक ने लिया, उसको सिक्योर लोन दे दिया एक को, उसमें 1 करोड़ का लोन दिया, 1-2 करोड़ का उसका घर रख लिया। एक दूसरा लोन दिया दूसरे आदमी को, उसको 1 करोड़ का लोन दिया, उसको सीडीटीएमएससी में लोन दे दिया। तो ये वो क्वेश्चन उनका क्या है कि प्रायोरिटी किसको, मतलब कौन प्रायोरिटी देगा? मतलब
नहीं
वो
नहीं,
तो
उनको जो
बैंक को तो
पैसा रिकवर करना है उसमें तो उस पर सिक्योरिटी होगी, प्राइमरी सिक्योरिटी।
वो तो दोनों का रिकवर करना है ना। बैंक को तो 1-1 रुपया वसूल करना है। मतलब
बिल्कुल
प्रायोरिटी
रिकवर करना है,
कौन
उनका कहना
प्रायोरिटी
ये
देगा?
है।
रिकवरी की प्रायोरिटी कौन देगा? क्वेश्चन
हाँ
इज
ये,
नॉट क्लियर था
हाँ
कि रिकवरी की प्रायोरिटी कौन देगा। मतलब ये आप वो कहना चाह रहे हैं कि भाई वो पहले अनसिक्योर्ड वाले का रिकवर करे, अब दोनों ने डिफॉल्ट कर दिया अगर सपोज, तो शायद क्वेश्चन ये है कि भाई किसको पहले रिकवर करे, ये मतलब हुआ। वो तो दोनों को रिकवर करना करेगा साथ साथ।
ये आई थिंक गारंटी पॉइंट ऑफ से पूछना चाह रहा होगा कि अनसिक्योर्ड लोन पे जैसे गवर्नमेंट ने गारंटी कर रखी है, तो गारंटी कैसे पहले प्रेफरेंस है कोई?
उनसे पूछ लीजिए कि क्या क्वेश्चन है सर, क्योंकि
सर
क्या होता है,
हाँ,
क्या
जिस भी
होता है।
पार्टिसिपेंट का ये क्वेश्चन है एक बार थोड़ा क्लियर करके मेरे को लिखें ताकि
हाँ,
मैं दोबारा पूछ सकूं। एंड सर लास्ट क्वेश्चन इज, व्हाट डॉक्यूमेंट्स ए बायर कैन आस्क फ्रॉम सप्लायर टू इंश्योर दैट परचेजेस फ्रॉम माइक्रो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस रजिस्टर्ड? If supplier is not registered with MSME, then this provision is not applicable. सर आई थिंक इनका क्वेश्चन 43BH से है। ये पूछना चाह रहे हैं कि अगर रजिस्टर्ड है तो क्या डॉक्यूमेंट
मैं
लेने हैं, और अगर रजिस्टर्ड
मैं
नहीं
मैं
है और
मैं
वो कहता है मैं एसएमई हूं तो क्या डॉक्यूमेंट लेने हैं?
मैं बताता हूँ सर इनको। सो आई क्लैरिफाई। तो उनका क्वेश्चन ये है कि भाई एज ए बायर, इफ इज ए बायर, हाउ कैन दे एंश्योर कि जो सप्लायर है वेदर दैट इज इन माइक्रो स्मॉल एंटरप्राइजेज और नॉट, नंबर वन। नंबर टू, अगर मैं वैसे ही कह दूं कि भाई मैं एक एमएसएमई हूं और आपको यू नीड टू पे मी इंटरेस्ट द अमाउंट विद इन 45 days और 15 days, वट एवर द कंडीशन में भी, एग्रीमेंट के साथ है या बिना एग्रीमेंट के साथ है, और नहीं देंगे तो आपको ये जो एक्सपेंसेस है वो डिसअलाउ हो जाएगा। तो the Ministry of MSME has introduced a new tab on udyamregistration.gov.in। तो आपको करना ये है, you need to ask from your supplier। आप एक जनरल मेल तो सबको भेजिए भेजिएगा कि we are not aware that whether you are registered under Udyam registration or not. If you are registered, please provide us your Udyam registration number and the certificate। You may give a timeline within this much period, maybe 10 days, 5 days का time आप देके उनको बोलिए, and you write a mail that if you will not receive any reply from your side in another 5 days, 10 days, whatever time you want to give, we will assume that you are not an micro, small and medium enterprises being registered under Udyam registration। तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो आपको ये उनको मेल कम्युनिकेशन जैसे भी आपको भेजना है। Suppose somebody tells you that I am registered as Udyam, I am a registered micro enterprises, right? And this is my Udyam registration. You need to pay me within 45 days or 15 days, as the case may be. Otherwise, you will be liable to pay interest to me also. उसका इनकम टैक्स का तो अलग है, चलो उसके साथ होगा, बट दे कैन क्लेम दैट यू नीड टू पे मी इंटरेस्ट इनफैक्ट फॉर द डिलेड पीरियड बियॉन्ड 15 days or 45 days. तो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ माइक्रो स्मॉल एंड मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेज हैज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड ए न्यू टैब. आप जाइए udyam.registration.gov.in. वहां पर जाकर आप मैंने इस पर एक वीडियो भी पोस्ट की है, बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट, देख लीजिएगा उसको. वहां जाकर आप उसका उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन डालिएगा. जैसे आप उद्यम रजिस्ट्रेशन डालेंगे, दे विल गिव द कंप्लीट इन्फॉर्मेशन. सो व्हाट इन्फॉर्मेशन दे विल गिव? whether it's a micro, whether it's a small or a medium, right? Then they will let you know whether it's a manufacturing sector, it's a trading sector, or a service sector. So if it is in service sector, they are not eligible for any interest. If it is a medium enterprises, they are still not eligible to get any interest. You can search now.
Sir, I think I have taken all the questions from the participant. So with this, thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable views.
सर एक मिनट, सर एक मिनट.
Yes.
गुप्ता जी सर अपना नंबर शेयर कर देंगे प्लीज जरा.
My number?
यस
98
यस
110
यस
24
यस.
647.
थैंक यू सर.
I will write my mail ID also, sir.
यस.
Please write in the chat box, sir.
info@indiansmechamber.com.
info@
Indian SME
Indian
SMEchamber.com.
SME.com.
Chamber.com.
Chamber. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm really obliged, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable times and enlightening our viewers with your valuable knowledge. You have discussed all these schemes formed by the government for the benefit of MSME in very simple manner and covering the mixture of English and Hindi. Also give the benefit of our viewers to understand the matter in a better manner. So friends, thank you so much. Be with us. Thank you everyone to be the part of this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.